Good morning, good morning. So we're going to talk today about the 3 reasons why you never get the results that you really want. Now, obviously, us, you, everyone in the, in the headspace where they want to start getting results, want to start changing the bodies, whether it's like a weight loss goal, whether you want to start getting fitter, whether you're looking more at like a long-term health thing, wherever you are on that journey. There's probably 3 reasons why you probably don't get the results that you really want to get. Let's just say, for example, you have 15 kilos to lose. Maybe you've tried to lose weight in the past, you've lost maybe 3 or 4, and then you've not ever really attained that kind of ultimate goal you have in your head. The thing that you see, the way that you were going to feel, the way you're going to look, the stuff you're going to be able to do, maybe you just never quite got to that end point. So hopefully you find this insightful. Just the reasons we see that people don't get results day in, day out, and we talk to hundreds of people every month. They're in a position where they want to start getting results, and maybe they've tried or failed. So we have a real good insight on kind of what the reasons are. So let's go straight into them. So, the number one reason, and it sounds really obvious, but is a real thing, is that one of the reasons you never get the results that you want is because you never actually start. So we speak to lots of people that talk about getting results, that talk about starting, that do lots and lots and lots of research on, the latest diet, or, the 800 calorie, the keto, the Herbalife, whatever it might be, and then research on kind of programs they should be doing, and they talk to lots of different people, but they never actually take that first step and begin to, take the first part of that movement to getting results, and effectively starting on a program, or, running it yourself, whatever it might be. Never actually starting guarantees 100% that you're never ever going to get the results that you really want, because clearly you're never actually starting. So if you're someone out there that is kind of always talking about losing weight, always talking about getting healthy, always talking about cutting down smoking, wherever it might be, whatever that thing is, get started in some capacity, because it's a bit like anything in life, right? You have to kind of try it to learn what works and what doesn't work. When you're just talking about doing it, you're never really going to go through the process and understand, okay, well, I tried this and this didn't work for me. I tried this type of training, I didn't like it. I tried this kind of nutritional protocol, that didn't work. So just get started, whatever it might be, whether it's just to start getting walking, whether it's to start going to the gym twice a week. Just make sure it's realistic and it's something that you can actually fit into your busy schedule. And you'll find after a couple of weeks that you start to learn things about your body, learn things about what works for your psychology, what you do like, what you don't like, and essentially, gives you the kind of opportunity to actually test and trial stuff. So just getting started is really, really important. Whatever that may be, whatever level of fitness or, health you're at, just getting started, doing something. That's number one. Okay, and then number 2 is that people don't stick to it for long enough. Now, generally speaking, what we hear and what we see is lots and lots of people talking about motivation and willpower. And, I haven't got the motivation, or I haven't got the willpower to make this work. I don't know how I'm going to, fit it in longer term. So having that ability to kind of understand that really and truly, you need to stick at this for a consistent period of time to see any results. So like, running the 100 meters once and then, not being able to run it in 10 seconds and then going, right, well, I better stop then. It doesn't make any sense. It's going to take practice. It's going to take consistent effort to get to where you want to be. And that's like with anything in life, right? If it's business or relationships or wealth or whatever it is, you need to stick at it and be consistent for long enough for you to start reaping the benefits, to start seeing the results. So generally speaking, you're going to need 3 weeks to start building habits, so 21 days. Now, most people we speak to really stop after 2.5 weeks. That's generally the kind of time that most people give up at. And the reason they do that is because they're probably not seeing results as quickly as they would like. So, okay, I've not lost weight, or I'm not feeling fitter, I'm not feeling stronger. And they go, oh, sorry, let's just stop, because it's easy to stop, but it's more comfortable and it's not working anyway. So I might as well go back to how I was before. Now, the problem with that is that you were just really, really close to starting to see the real benefits and the changes that will happen around kind of week 3. Now, what you'll see is, one, you'll start to actually build habits. That's a real thing. It's 21 days when you start to take something that's, you practice it long enough for it to become a habit. When it becomes a habit, it means that you're just doing it as part of your normal regime. So, you get up, brush your teeth, have a cup of tea, whatever it might be, and then you just go to the gym. You do that for 3 weeks consistently, and suddenly it rewires your brain, and it becomes something that you just do autonomously. You haven't got to be reminded, or it doesn't feel like so much of a drag. You don't have to kind of, really push yourself hard to do it. It becomes a habit. That's really important. Also, kind of around the 3rd week mark is when you start to see genuine change in your body shape and actual change in your weight, things like that. Now, obviously, it's not going to be remarkable. You're only 3 weeks in, depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're seeing an expert and they're getting you to do very specific, fat loss protocols and specific kind of nutrition and exercise, you're probably going to see pretty good change in 3 weeks. If you do it on your own, it's probably not going to be remarkable. Let's be honest, that most people that run their own fitness programs or run their own weight loss programs, they're not experts in the area. They're just doing it because they think that they can do it. And oftentimes that's counterintuitive, because you're not going to see the change that you want as quickly as you like. And then you don't change from that willpower and motivation into habit. So around week 3, you're going to start seeing a bit of a change in your weight, change in your body. Generally speaking, if you've got a weight loss goal, if you're losing a pound a week, that's pretty good going. It's not crash, it's not too quick, it's not restrictive or too restrictive. It's just doing it in a sustainable way that's actually going to show you change quite quickly, but also going to allow you to keep that going for longer term. So absolutely, yeah, people don't stick to it for long enough. And there's a couple of ways around that. One is to have, there's one way around it really, and that's to be held accountable. Either being held accountable by a friend or a family member, like a gym buddy, something like that. That would be the free version of doing that. Or actually paying an expert to hold you accountable to your program. There's things that you need to do. So there's kind of 2 ways to do it. Problem with buddy systems and going to gym with people is oftentimes when it does get to 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, one of you has a bit of a blip, something goes wrong, you overeat, you get drunk on the weekend, whatever it might be, and then that throws that person off kilter, and then your accountability suddenly disappears because they're like, well, I'm not doing it at the moment. Things like injuries, someone injures themselves, they're not your accountability partner anymore, they move away. All sorts of different things can happen when you have like a gym buddy, but it's the free version of accountability, which essentially is what a company like ours would do for you, or other weight loss companies. They hold you accountable to your food and to your exercise, and make sure that you get the results that you want, consistently throughout the program and beyond. Okay, and then the last part of this, the 3rd reason that most people never see the results they want is they get really bad advice, and we see it all the time. And it's, there's plenty of really good, reputable body transformation weight loss companies out there that will give you good advice. Unfortunately, most of the companies that spring to mind when you think about weight loss and kind of getting fitter and stronger and healthier, some of the big brands that you think of that spring to mind, the advice is generally not very good. And the problem is that we speak to, as I said, hundreds of people every month, and a very good chunk of those people have been through those types of programs. Let's just call them out, the protein shake companies, that give you the shake and you have that instead of food. The companies where they sell you their own specific foods, I better mention their actual names just in case. They give you the foods to go and buy from the shop and you eat the foods. Problem with all that stuff is they're not really coaching you on how to do this longer term. Just an example, if you're going to spend a week in Mallorca with your family, you won't be able to go and find the foods that you can buy in England because they're not going to be, the brand doesn't exist there. If you're going to be having protein shakes as part of your weight loss journey, or the only part of your weight loss journey, and bars, things like that, how's that going to work when you go on holiday? You can't sit around the dinner table on your holiday for your family and get protein shakes out and bars. It doesn't make any sense. So that generally is what we call bad advice, but it's okay, like it's going to work short term. And if you've got a lot of weight to lose, then yeah, that can be a good place to start because it's just simple and it's easy and it gives you that momentum. However, a lot of the advice doesn't work in the sustainable world where you want to keep the weight off and actually navigate holidays and business trips and the stuff that comes up in between, when you're trying to lose weight. So generally speaking, you're never starting, so people are not actually beginning a program, just talking about it, essentially procrastinating. We also see lots of people that over kind of research, and Google's great and there's so much information out there, but the fact of the matter is you unless you are an expert in the area, so as anything, I'm not an expert in insurance or in finance, I wouldn't have a clue what I'm looking at. but people do go into the fitness space or the weight loss space and they stick everything in Google, and suddenly they're an expert in that area, and they do research. And then what actually happens, it becomes overwhelming and you lose the kind of motivation to do it. Because I was so much information here that I'm just procrastinating even more. So the reason number one is most people never actually start on their program. The second reason is people don't stick to their program for long enough. Generally speaking, it's going to take you 3 weeks to build a habit and build it into part of your lifestyle. And really, you need to be sticking at it for, 3 weeks as a starting point, 3 months really as the next kind of, the box to tick. I've hit the next level of consistency. After 3 months, you're going to see real physical change in your body. Anyone that tells you that it's going to be less than that and much, much quicker than that, you're not going to see huge changes unless you're following an expert program where you will see quicker changes, because it's going to be tailored to your specific level, specific need, and it's been created by an expert. So it's going to be quicker. And the last reason is that there's lots and lots of bad advice out there, and it's quite difficult as a customer or someone that's trying to get in shape to differentiate between good advice and bad advice, because there's just so much advice, and that can be overwhelming, and it can actually add to that kind of wanting to procrastinate, because there's so much information here, I just don't even know where to start. And even bad advice when choosing bad advice, like I've just mentioned, on Google or web researching you're doing, and also bad advice where you've actually paid someone or paid a company, a big brand company, to help you lose weight, and the advice is not great because it's not sustainable, you can't carry it on longer term, and also it's not particularly healthy. It's not really the healthy way of doing things. It's just like a quick fix, like another crash diet, right? Okay, so I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you guys probably again on Wednesday. So we're going to be doing those lives a couple times a week. If you do have any questions, any things you'd like us to comment on, do feel free to hit us up on any of our social media platforms. So this is going out on LinkedIn, on YouTube and Facebook. So do give us a little message, and we're very happy to address any specific questions that you have. Anyway, hope you have a lovely Monday, and we'll catch up very soon.